Hi ladies, Johanna J here. If you didn't see the reel that I made, this video is about whether we can have male friends as a wife or not. Do we have to lock off all of our male friends just because we got married? The scripture actually indicates that we kind of should. And this is why I want to go through and embellish a little bit with you guys today. So it's found in Ecclesiasticus, that's in the Apocrypha. Ecclesiasticus 9:9 reads, Sit not at all with another man's wife, nor sit down with her in thine arms, and spend not thy money with her at the wine, lest thine heart incline unto her, and so through thy desire thou fall into destruction. So this seems plain. It says that a man, this is a message towards men to let them know that there are boundaries, and for women to know that there are boundaries and accept that. It says, sit not at all with another man's wife, by yourself. A man should not be alone with you if you're married. It also says that he shouldn't sit down in her arms. So you guys should not be there leaning up on a couch and in each other's arms in any type of way. Absolutely not, no matter what. And spend not thy money with her at the wine. This could be restricted to buying her alcohol. Of course, that puts her in a state where she may not be fully aware of what's going on. But it could even be other gifts. Just spending money on her, buying a meal for her, doing anything for her that involves financial. The man is not her provider. That's her husband. If anyone's going to be buying her anything, it should be her husband, not a male friend. And you don't know how men take that. So this to me is clear caution when it comes to male friends. You should not be spending one-on-one time with a man. You should not be on the phone with a man for long periods of time. You should not be talking to him late at night. You shouldn't be discussing his marriage. You should not be discussing yours. And I believe will be best and safest if your friendship with him be more so an acquaintance, and if you're going to be together, it's you and his wife and you and your husband. That way everything is clear. There's no interaction that can be misunderstood. Or a lot of times, ladies, believe it or not, men know men. And there may be something that your husband would see that's transpiring between you and this man, or this man towards you, that he will realize he doesn't like. Let's say you go and you meet with him and he gives a hug and his hands are a little bit too low, or the embrace lasts a little bit too long, or he's observed him looking at you a particular way. When you were walking away, his eyes were where they shouldn't have been. Whatever it is, there are things that a man can notice, maybe things that he says or doesn't say. Maybe it's about the way that he interacts with the husband, that he realized that there's a little bit of tension or awkwardness there that can mean something. Men know men, and men think differently than we do. And sometimes it's difficult for us to fathom that something other than what we're thinking or intended can come through, but it can. And nobody's immune. A big thing is that if you are opening up to him, opening up your heart, opening up your marriage to him, and you're telling him when you're going through issues with your husband, he may be that good friend who cares about you and says, you know what, he would never do that to you. Why is your husband doing that? You don't deserve that. You're too special for that. You're priceless. You're a queen. All of these things that a woman wants to hear when she's going through distress and feels vulnerable. He may say those things. And then you're now thinking, finally, somebody who appreciates me and all these things. You may not even think that at first. But over time, if he continues to do that, you may start now gathering things about him that you really like. He may be doing that just as a friend in that moment. But then he may down the line have issues with his wife, if he even has a wife. He may have issues with her or a girlfriend and be sharing that with you. And then you're then going to do the same thing he did, saying, you're such a special man. How could she treat you like that? All these things. That starts gassing his head up. And now he's thinking, man, I'm here fighting my girl or my wife to understand what I'm saying. And you understand it just like that, just by default. This is the type of woman I need to be with. Now his heart rather is now inclining unto you, and your heart may be inclining unto him, and now you guys are now both entering into lust, whether you realize it or not. You tiptoed into it, but you're now there. And it's very, very important that we not put ourselves in situations where that could happen. He can be thinking about you a way that you are not thinking of him. And he may read your behavior and read your words differently than you intend them. So it's very important, ladies, that we protect our marriages. Our husbands are the only male friend that's close to us that we need. And it's important that he knows that he's the only one in that position, because a lot of women, we are still looking for male attention somewhere. Um, I no longer look for male attention from anybody else. My husband is the only one, and I'm good. But a lot of women need male validation and male attention. They need to feel that they still got it, and they need to not, because you're going to get yourself in problems. So if you value your marriage, my suggestion is, and scripture seems to back it up, that you need to keep far from men who are not your husband. Spend the time. If you have voids in your relationship, that's absolutely possible. Spend your time and energy working on solving the relationship issues, not looking elsewhere for validation so that you feel better. Because the few issues that you have in your relationship that you could spend some time and attention in improving, you're not spending that time when you're listening to a man tell you about how special you are. You're not working on your relationship. So that's my suggestion. That's my take on it. I hope you guys can appreciate that. Be blessed.